Okay. All right,
Okay.
everyone, thank you so much once more to attend our continuous training program on digital marketing. And we are blessed with the guru of all gurus, Tony Coleman Brown. And tonight, of course, it's going to be on dealing with your lead generation, right? Lead gen, call it lead.
Yeah, we're going to get into the things that we couldn't complete the last
Yes.
time
Oh, wonderful.
and
Super.
go a little bit further.
Super,
Yeah.
super, super. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. And so with no further ado, Tony, welcome again to our team and welcome everyone. And you're on.
Well, greetings and hello, everyone, and welcome back to the two-part email marketing series that we're doing about Aweber. We're going to pick up where we left off before, but for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tony Coleman Brown. I'm the founder of the Network for Women in Business, and what we do is we provide online marketing solutions to female entrepreneurs to help them to grow their business and monetize their business as well. So also, I'm into all things digital marketing, social media marketing, and all of that stuff. So you'll find, that my breadth as it relates to digital marketing is pretty long. Megan, did you have a question that you wanted to get started with first? I know you have a hard stop at 8.
No, I just wanted to make sure that we could get through the material this time and then ask the questions later so I could hear everything.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So Winnie, if you could, I don't know if I have the ability to
Yeah, I thought
share.
I did.
So if you could make me the host so I can share, that would
Yeah,
be great.
sure. Hold on a second.
For those of you who weren't here, welcome. For those of you that were here the last time, welcome back. I'm excited to have you here. I hope that you guys had the opportunity to at least think about what you were interested in creating as your lead magnet. And if you did not think about that, we'll get more into that tonight. And I'm going to get into a lot of Aweber. We're going to log into it and we're going to really look at all of the options that are available with that platform and what you can do to grow your business using that platform. Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to get in right now. It seems
Yeah,
on the
I can.
participation. Right.
I can. I just want to go straight to my presentation. So I'm going to share my screen, guys. All right. Put it in present mode. Okay, now hopefully you guys can see my screen nice and big and clear. Yes?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. I just want to put there we go. I just wanted to minimize my my screen. Okay, great. All right, so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to review some of the things that we talked about last week so that it could, be top of mind. I realize sometimes when you have, a few days that goes in between, it seems like, I don't know, now weeks seems like months and months feel like years. So we talked a bit last time about email marketing and how it's about building relationships. One of the things that you can do when you create an email marketing campaign is build the know, like, and trust factor. A lot of times when people give you their email address, sometimes they give it to you just because they want the freebie that you're offering. And oftentimes, as soon as you give them the freebie, they go and unsubscribe from your email list. And we're going to talk a little bit about that and, some of the things that you can do to prevent that. And also the last time we talked about some of the excuses that people make as it relates to putting together their email marketing campaigns. A lot of people say they don't have a lot of time. They're not really sure that people are really looking at their emails. Sometimes there are email glitches and things like that that happen where, the deliverability of the email is not reaching the individuals. So there's little glitches that happen sometimes. But most importantly, we said that, you know, we're going to get rid of the excuses, and we're really going to be very strategic this time, and we're going to implement our plans and our strategies. We also talked about why would someone want to give you their email address? And that's where we talked about a lead magnet would come into play. And we, you know, we went over the 25 lead magnet ideas where you can create a multitude of things that people may be interested in receiving in exchange for a name and an email address. We talked about how you can create a workshop or a masterclass or an ebook, or you can create a guide or tips or a recipe, because we had a lot of people last time from a lot of different industries. Some people were in the food industry. Some people were in the counseling industry. I know Megan does videos. We had people that were in the apparel industry. We had someone who had a child care business. And we had someone here that was in recycling, in the recycling business. So we had people from a variety of different backgrounds that could offer a variety of different items as a giveaway in exchange for a name and an email address. I mean, in my last course, I had a beautician that came through the course, and one of the things she created was a free guide on, you know, frequently asked questions about growing healthy hair. And that was something that really worked well for her. And it also allowed her to get a lot of people in her Facebook community, which was awesome. We also had someone in my last class that was a career coach. And one of the things that she created was a guide with 8 tips on having a successful interview. So that was pretty awesome. So there are a variety of different things that you can create in order for someone to give you their name and email address. You can offer them coupons, you can offer them discounts. So there are a lot of different things, and we talked about that. And we talked about what you could give away, like maybe a free recipe or something like that. And I wanted to know if anyone did their homework. So I'm going to stop the screen share for a minute, and I'm going to ask you, did anyone do? Althea is smiling. Althea, did you do your homework?
Well, I created an Aweber account.
Oh, that's awesome. That's very awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's good news. Did anybody else, you know, Constance, I think you were here the last time. Did anybody do their homework as it relates to creating something that they could give away, or at least thought about what you could give away?
Yes, I did. I created, I went more to my Facebook page and I
Mhm.
created more with the pieces that I sell and got more people coming to my website now.
Oh, nice. So
And they
you,
also purchase.
oh, that's really
Mhm.
awesome. So you created like posts
Yes,
and different things that drove traffic to your
yes,
website.
to my website.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Hmm.
That's awesome. So
Yes.
congratulations on
Thank you.
that. That's
Thank you.
pretty awesome. So
Mhm.
let me get back to the presentation. So, you know, even if whether you did or whether you didn't, one of the things that I can tell you about tonight is that before this event is over, your mind will be bubbling with different ideas of what you can do as it relates to creating an email marketing campaign, or just creating a newsletter or something like that, because we're gonna talk a little bit about that, and we're gonna really look into the platform and show you the possibilities. And once you see what the possibilities are, you know, you can start I am not an advocate for Aweber. I don't work for Aweber. I've been a long-standing customer with Aweber. I am an Aweber affiliate, but I'm not really promoting it in that way tonight at all. But you can get a free Aweber account and put up to 500 leads in it. And then after that, you can get unlimited leads with your Aweber account and it's only $20 a month. And once you see what the capabilities are of the platform, I think you may want to consider really getting an Aweber account. So tonight we're going to talk about a strategy that everybody can use, which is a newsletter. And I believe that everyone should have a newsletter so that they can communicate with their ideal customers or clients on a weekly basis. And if you don't have a newsletter and that's something that you're thinking about, you know, we definitely want to work with you so that you can implement that over the next couple of months, okay? And then we're going to also talk about what different types of emails that you can send. And I'm going to show you what the difference is between sending a broadcast email and a follow-up series, which is autoresponder emails. And then we're going to talk about some content planning, some things that you can, you know, do on a regular basis that, you know, you can really communicate and connect with your audience. You know, one of the things, and I'll just say this right off the bat, one of the things that I do is I normally will create a motivational Monday, and I will send them out, you know, like every Monday. And that probably is, if I look at my analytics, that's probably one of the most opened emails of all the emails that I send. People love reading and getting the bits of motivation. Maybe in 2021, what I might start doing is instead of writing the piece, I may start sending them video messages, and
That's
maybe
right.
they'll like the video messages a lot
Oh, yeah.
better
Yeah.
because
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, it'll be right in your face, right up front and personal. And I have to tell you guys, if you have a good iPhone, you can definitely cut videos on your iPhone and they will be crisp and clear and straight to the point, and you can email the videos to yourself and you'll look like a rock star. And if you have an iPhone, cell phone, whatever, it doesn't even have to be an iPhone, it could be an Android. You can download the teleprompter app and you can put all of your texts that you want to speak about into the teleprompter app, and you can read it directly from your phone. And that way you don't have to worry about what you're going to say next because everything will be right in front of you. So those are some of the fun things that you can do. But getting back to this, I'm going to show you in the implementation side, and this is where we're really going to go into the Aweber dashboard, and I'm going to show you all of the different elements of the dashboard and how you can send out a broadcast email, how you can set up some autoresponder, or what Aweber tends to call them are legacy follow-up series emails, where you just get a person on your list and then you want to send them a series of emails that are really what I like to call evergreen, and we're going to talk about that. And evergreen means that it's not relating to anything that's happening right now. Broadcast emails are more related to things that are happening right now. So we're going to get into that. And then I'm going to also talk to you about the different landing pages and the other different types of pages that are available in Aweber that you can use on your social media platforms. And you can utilize it in a way that can allow people to see everything that you have to offer. It's almost similar to something called Linktree. And if you're an Instagram user, you may have heard of Linktree, because in Instagram, you can only put one link in your bio. It's a little bit different from Facebook because you could put multiple links in your bio, but you could put one link in your bio on Instagram, and then you can link up a whole bunch of links with Linktree. Well, Aweber has a feature similar to that, and you'll get an opportunity to see all of that very soon. So like for those of you who don't know me, I always do this. I'm Toni Coleman Brown. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm also an author, coach, and friend. And I'm also a master lead generator and trainer. And I've hosted hundreds of workshops and master classes, and I've trained thousands of people over the years. Why I do everything I do, I always show this slide, is my daughters, Sasha and Taylor, and they are the reason why I do just everything. You know, people say when you have daughters, it's almost like having an open window and you just taking a bucket of cash and just throwing it out the window. Trust me, I don't mind spending money on my daughters. They're just, you know, they're so much fun and just mean everything to me. But what I want to talk to you guys about tonight is a newsletter, right? And we talk about email marketing, and people think, you know, well, what is this all about? What is email marketing all about? We said the last time that it's about building relationships. But, you know, I personally believe that every business could use a newsletter. And that's a weekly email that you send out to your customers or your clients, and you let them know what's going on with you, right? A newsletter can serve so many different purposes in a business. But here are some of the big ones. You can keep your customers informed of what's going on, like I said, because, you know, when you're in business and you're busy and you're moving around and you're doing things, people love to know what's going on. They love to know what you're doing and what's happening with you. You can keep them informed of events that are going on. You can let them know when sales are happening. You can spotlight existing customers. That's always a cool thing. If you're a coach, or even if you're in the business that Mike is in, and he has some great clients, he can definitely do a spotlight on his clients, because, you know, people like to do business with people that are busy, and people like to do business with people that have other customers. You know, and your customers might have a great testimony about your product or your service. And it's always good to spotlight them and spotlight their testimonies. And those are some of the things that you can put in a newsletter. You definitely can send out promotions. You know, everybody knows that this is Black History Month. Vera also talked about earlier of what she's doing for Black History Month. She's posting on social media all things related to, you know, her mother. She's honoring her mom. That would be something like after she's done like a variety of posts, maybe all throughout the week, one of the things that she could do is send out an email, and the email can be a roundup email. And what a roundup email is all about, it's really just the collection of all of the different posts, and she can have it in one email, and she can send it out to her list, because we all know when we post on social media, it only lasts but that long. But if you put it in somebody's inbox, the cool thing about a person's inbox is, you know, when you look at it, right? When you look at your inbox, you know, one of the things that you're gonna see is you're gonna see like really big, you'll get the subject line, and you'll get a little bit of what the email is all about. That's one email inbox. But if you look at it from this view, you can see you get a lot of information about what the email is about. So people are on their phone way too much, we know that, and they check their emails mostly on their phone. So if you do a roundup email, you know, while people are scrolling through, you'll have a better chance of capturing their attention with a roundup email versus really having, you know, a bunch of different social media posts. And it's always great to be able to make a variety of different announcements, right? And so now I have a question. And that question is, if you were to create a newsletter, what would you include in your newsletter? So I'm gonna spotlight. Sylvia said that, yes, kids are expensive, but I love my kids. Oh yeah, they are expensive. But what would you put in a newsletter? So let's talk about it, guys. Anybody wanna go?
Well, I would put in statistics that show that people who watch a video are like 80% more likely to buy a product or service.
Yes, videos definitely convert better than text.
I would
That's
also put in a
awesome.
video of myself saying that.
Video of yourself saying that. That's awesome. I mean, so yours would be education. You would educate people about video and why they should use video. And what would be good to put in a newsletter for you would be, maybe you can find a really good infographic that has statistics about video marketing and why they need video marketing. So you're priming them. Also, what would be good for you to put in a newsletter, Megan, would be behind the scenes, because you do a lot of video shoots and things like that, showing people where you are, where you're taking pictures, just even giving them a run of the week. Like, this is what happened in Megan's world this week. You know what I mean? And they see you're busy. They see people are hiring you. That's validation. And so a newsletter serves so that you can stay top of mind of your ideal customer, because sometimes they're not ready. But when they are ready, guess what? Because Megan will have been sending them her newsletter, then they'll say, you know what? I know somebody who does video. Let me go look through my email. And you know what? They'll do a sort, they'll find you, and they'll contact you. So that's, I think everybody could use a newsletter. Anybody else have thought about what they could put in a newsletter?
Yeah, I was thinking that I could showcase what our company did to pivot over the pandemic in what we do for the community. So when they see the giving part that we do to the community, it would,
Yes, definitely. Community service, what's going on. I mean, and those types of things, giving back, all of that stuff is really important to your ideal client. I mean, people love seeing things going on. And when you're out and about in the community, definitely you want to, do a roundup email, letting people know, hey, this is where we were this week. These were some of the things we did this week. And, by the way, if you stop by on this day, this is what we're going to have going on, letting people know that you're busy, things are happening and stuff like that. So you can see how a newsletter can really make a huge difference in building that know, like, and trust factor with your audience, right? I remember when we were talking last week with the guy with the recycle, he's also a college professor. I can't remember his name, but that's one of, what's his name?
Casey,
right. One of the things that we said that he could create a newsletter, and that would definitely be something that his customers could use, knowing where they're moving, how they're expanding, and all of the different things that are going on in that industry. So that was pretty strong and pretty solid. Any other ideas for a newsletter, what you could put inside of a newsletter?
Hi, good evening. I would put like upcoming announcements and events. I have something going on for March, so I would, start promoting that via email marketing about the upcoming announcements or events.
Yes.
Going on.
Absolutely, Sylvia. That is awesome. So you guys continue to think about that and continue to think about what you could put inside of your newsletter, because, that's strong. And that's something that will constantly keep you top of mind in your ideal customers and clients' heads. And you'll be surprised, sometimes a lot of people, especially during this pandemic, have insomnia. And one of the things that people keep their cell phones right next to their beds. And when they have insomnia, they're like going through their emails. And and you would be surprised what time people are sending emails or reading emails these days.
That is true. Tony, one of the things that I know, if you want an email to really go far, like one of your clients who like to be in the know.
Yes.
When I spotlight the story, like they're willing to contribute a little story or what have you, they want to be in the know. Not everyone wants to be in the know, but there's always those clients that, what? You're giving me exposure, and then you're telling a story and says, now this is what Tony did this week. So it's like a family that they want, especially with the program, they want to be a part of it. So they want to be in the newsletter for this week, And then
Absolutely.
they take that and they share it with everybody that they know.
That's awesome. And that is so true, Winnie, because I know that when I have events, like when I have networking events, after the networking event, I'll send out an email saying, oh my God, we made this many connections. This is what this person had to say. This is what that person had to say. You have to sign up for the next networking event, So, I mean, there's so much that you can do, but like I said before, the types of emails that you can send out. You can send out broadcast emails, which are things, like if something is happening right now and you just have to talk about it right now, you'll send out a broadcast. But a follow-up series, it's like an autoresponder series. You can set that up as a campaign. And, the first campaign could be your welcome campaign. And that is really a series of getting to know you type of emails. And, those could be evergreen, right? And evergreen, what I mean by that is you don't want to reference anything. You don't want to reference any particular date unless it was something like historical that happened in your business and you're telling a story about it. But you want it to be, something that a person could pick up, and when they watch it, they feel like, you know what? Yeah, I'm getting to know that person. Or when they read it, they're like, this is telling a story and I feel like I'm going a little bit deeper with the person. So a broadcast, like I said, is something you would send right now. And that would be like upcoming events, breaking news, any type of sales that you have going on, especially flash sales or any specials. Like an autoresponder campaign is something that you would set it and forget it, right? So you set it and then you leave it alone. So like anytime somebody signs up for your newsletter, you can send them a welcome campaign, right? And like I said, it builds the know, like, and trust factor. And it's also good, like say for instance, if you have that one hot item that everybody always buys and that you're known for, and we had somebody who sold rum cakes. And if there's a particular rum cake that everybody always talks about, then that's something you could put in your welcome series. That would be really good. Or if you have clothing and there's this one item that is classic and you've sold it from the time you started your business till now, and everybody just loves it, then you want to definitely, include that in your welcome series, okay? And so a welcome series could look something like this, guys. It could be initially when somebody signs up for your newsletter, you can say, welcome, thank you so much for signing up. And this is what you can expect. I send emails every Monday or every Thursday or whatever. And, this is what the company is about. If you're a brick and mortar, these are our hours of operation and things like that. So that's the type of information you want to put in there. That could be the first email. Then a couple of days later, you can send another email. And that email can tell your background story. Like, did you know that I started this business in the back of the garage back in 19, whatever. And, you're just letting people know like fun facts about your business. So they're, kind of warming up and really getting to know things that other people may not have known. Or these, like if you've ever done icebreaker type of games and, they'll say, okay, tell me something about you that no one could tell just by looking at you, right? So that's the kind of information you want to reveal in telling the backstory, like fun facts, things like that, that would really start to break down people's walls. Then, a couple of days later, you can send an email talking about, let's connect on social media. Hey, I'm on all of these different platforms, and you can give them all of your social media platforms. And then, if you've had some real popular posts that totally went viral, you can say, hey, this was one of our best posts. Maybe you would find it interesting too. And you can throw that post in there. And then, a couple of days later or the following week, you can say, hey, have you joined our private community? Everyone should have a private community. And I personally feel like you need two types of private communities. You need one that will be almost, if you think about a funnel of leads, right? Like a playground where you would put all of the people that could be your potential clients. You need a Facebook group to really house all of those people, because you need a community where you can talk to people, where you can get to know them a little bit better. You can find out information about them, and this is your lead pool. So I have a group called Female Entrepreneurs Thrive, right? And in that group, it has probably almost 6,000 people in the group, right? Now, all of them are not members of the Network for Women in Business, but they're potential members of the network, right? So in Facebook, in your private groups, you can do rooms, and you can almost do like a Zoom in a private room in a Facebook group. But that's where you could just warm your people up and really begin to solve some of their problems and show them how they can go a little bit deeper with you. And then your weekly newsletter, is something that they probably have already signed up for it, but it doesn't hurt for you to promote it and then tell them something like, tell a friend. Have you told a friend about the newsletter? I'm sure you've been getting it, enjoying it, and give them a little button or something that they can use to forward it to a friend so you can get more subscribers. So those are some of the types of things that you can put in your welcome series. And it's pretty cool because once you create your first 5 to 10 emails, you just set them there and, just continue to promote your newsletter or whatever it is. You have it somewhere on your website, you have your newsletter link in your email, and you just will find yourself constantly getting people on your list when you have this set up. All right, so I wanted to talk to you guys briefly about this, and I'm going to stop for a minute before we go into Aweber to see if you have any questions about what we've covered so far. Any questions about this information?
Hi, Tony. This is Julia. I have a question.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the series of emails, this is set up in Aweber, and Aweber will automatically send them out to the people?
Yes.
Once they join your list?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what I want to do, any other questions before I go into Weber?
Yes, yes,
I have a
Tony.
question. How you doing?
Hi.
I always do videos in the boutique, like my goddaughter will record me, or my grandson record me, and I find that a lot of people do like them and they go on. So when I do that, should I follow that with a newsletter?
You can absolutely upload your video in your newsletter.
Oh, okay. Because because the last time I did it was for the holiday, and I got a lot of sales. And then, like, when I cut back from it, people, they find a way to get in touch with me to find out what's on sale, what I got new in the store, and why I'm not doing the advertising in the store, because I'm always doing the videos. Like, I play my music and I dance around and I show what I have and what's on sale, and stuff like that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, and definitely, you probably, with your sales that you currently have, one of the things that you're probably capturing email addresses in that sales information.
Okay.
You can create a list of all of those people that have already purchased from you. And that could be a list that you can send your newsletter out to.
Oh, okay.
Weber.
Because I do have a lot of emails when they fill out the receipt.
Yeah.
I ask them to give me their emails.
Yes.
But I haven't been sending anything out. I just been doing the videos.
Yes. And so one of the things you can do is you can compile it, or if you have it like somewhere where you can, put it in an Excel spreadsheet or something like that, you can upload it into Aweber and create a specific list of,
Oh, okay.
VIP customers. And the cool thing is, about Aweber and any email software provider, not just Aweber, all of the email software providers allows you to create multiple lists.
Okay.
And when you create multiple lists, what happens is you may have, a list of people who, started the process of buying but abandoned the cart, and so you can email those people. You can have people who were interested but never bought. So, and you might want to send different messages to different people. So you'll be able to segment that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then if you have like a whole, but you may have gone to a malls event, and you may have met a lot of people from malls, the malls networking.
Yes.
You may create a list of people that potential customers from the malls networking event. You may have gone to other networking events and met a whole bunch of people, and you have all of these now different lists. You could create one email and you can send it to all of those different lists at the same time with email marketing.
Great. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Tony, I have a question. It's Megan, and that is, when you say you upload the video to your email, let's say you have like a boilerplate email that's going to go out personalized to 100 people.
Right.
I don't see a way, and like on a regular email, to upload a video. There's no attach a video or something. I know that if you put it on YouTube, you can drop in a link and it shows up in a little window. But for instance, I don't think it works on Vimeo, where I have all of my videos or something like that.
Well, you would have to use the Vimeo links in the email software provider. I'm gonna show you. So if you allow me a minute, but before I go on, does anybody else have any other questions?
I do. I just shared on my Instagram and my Facebook my 2020 year in review, all the highlights of all what happened. It's getting a lot of traction, and so I was wondering if something like that is what could be used in a newsletter. And I'm also thinking of sending it out to my subscribers, because most of my subscribers are not followers of me on either Instagram or Facebook.
Yes, I think that would be really good, a year in review to send out to your email list subscribers, and then also asking them out there to follow you on your social media so they don't miss out on any of the great content that you're providing there. So it's a great way for you to get followers on your social media account as well. Okay, any other questions before I move on? Good stuff. Are you liking it so far? Yes. You can type yes in the chat. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So
I'm sorry, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Good stuff. No, definitely is good stuff. I wanted to know, as far as, how do you feel like, when you're bombarding, your followers, or, especially through email marketing. But I have a lot of emails myself. We all do. I mean, we're running businesses, we sign up for stuff, we subscribe to stuff. So how do you feel when you're getting bombarded, when you're saying like every few days? You know what I mean? I just think for me, that's kind of too much. Maybe it could be once a week. It varies depending on the temperament that you have with your followers and customers and those.
So that's a personal decision, right? So you can, you can email at a frequency that works for you and your business. Maybe one time a week is good, maybe 2 times a week is good. When I started with email marketing and I started with online marketing, I was told by my mentor at that particular time, when every time someone would ask him that question of, how many times do you send an email? He would say, you send them, you know, he would say, first he said 2 emails a day keeps the job away. That's what he would say. So 2 email, so he would send an email literally in the morning and in the afternoon. Literally, he would do that every day. And then, you know, I would say, well, how many times should you email people? And he said, email them until they unsubscribe. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I, you know, I was just like, well, why do you feel like that? He said, the people that are for you, that love you, they will never unsubscribe. They will never unsubscribe. And I can tell you, there is a woman that emails me every single day, just about. And I love her. And I will never unsubscribe. I will never unsubscribe from, and I think I'm on multiple lists in, you know, multiple different email software providers, because sometimes I get the same email twice and I still won't unsubscribe because I just love her just that much. So that is really and truly, it's a great, great question. I'm so glad you asked it, but it's a personal decision. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Annoy, you know.
Yeah, I understand. And that's how we feel. And that's us projecting our personal opinions upon our ideal clients. And in business, one of the things that I found that you have to be very careful about that, because what you feel is not always how they feel. And we get caught up in that trap with a lot of things, with pricing. You know, we're like, oh, I wouldn't want to do it. You don't know what you don't know what your customers have in their bank account. You don't know what's going on in their head, but a lot of times you block yourself because of what's going on in your head. So sometimes you have to just like put the blockers on so that, and block out all your own internal noise, and just, you know, like when you have a path or when you've been given a blueprint, just follow the blueprint and let the results speak for itself, because you just don't know. And a lot of times, you know, we put that energy out there and it manifests itself. So sometimes you just have to just put the, you know, blinders on and then do what's right. I used to talk to this one online marketer who used to say, oh my God, I just can't look. I can't look at the email account. You know, I let my husband look at the email account because she couldn't take it when people would unsubscribe, you know. And other people that I've listened to and coaches and whatnot, they would say the faster you get people to unsubscribe, the faster you get to the people, you know, your super raving fans. So, you know, like being in business is about a sword. It's all a big sword, you know, and you're just really looking to find those people that are for you. And all of the other people, they're going to say all kinds of things. And the more popular you get and the more you put yourself out there, the more negative stuff that's going to pop up. You know, it's going to pop up in your comments. It's going to pop up all over the place. But you can't get caught up in that, and you can't go down those rabbit holes. You just have to keep going with your mission and understand that, you know, like people that have time to criticize and all of that stuff with you, that, you know, that they're not for you. And that's it. You just move on.
They criticize him, no one.
Yeah, all of that too. And you just move on. So this is the dashboard, right? When you log into your Aweber account, right? So the last time we were here, I had just created this Aweber account. You can see it has like 57 subscribers. And what I did was I created a list. I called it Tony Coleman's Browns list, right? And I had a download from some other subscriber. I don't even know what it was from, but I had it as an Excel spreadsheet, and I showed you guys how you can add people. So I basically went over here to the subscribers tab, right? And what I did was I went over here to add subscribers. And instead of importing one at a time, you can, like, say, for instance, if I wanted to add somebody that said, you know what, like Julia, and, you know, keep me up to date on what's going on. So Julia pops up for everything. I could put her name here. I could put her email address in here, and I could just put it in as add subscriber. Also, I could go to subscribers, and I can click add subscribers, and I can click import multiple. Now with this, you can come down here and you can click here to get an Excel file and upload it. And then what's going to happen is usually I have my Excel files labeled with one column will say name, another column will say email address, and then I will just import it and it'll map the field. So it'll automatically pop up as one is a name, one is the email address. And then, you know, it'll ask where did these people sign up? And I usually put my website on there and then I click submit and then it automatically will add people to my list, right? And then, you know, when you first log in, like I said, you will come to your dashboard. And your dashboard will have a couple of things, build your list, which is like add subscribers, or it'll say create a landing page. And this is a fairly new thing that Aweber has put together. And I really want to show you guys these landing pages because you can either do it here or you can do it up here where it says landing pages. So I'm just going to click here. Both will take you to the same place. And it'll say, come over here, it'll say create a landing page. And I just want to show you guys what the possibilities are because there's a bunch of templates here that you guys can use. And I mean, all you have to do is just really change the elements of the template and really create nice landing pages for yourself. So I want to show you some of the landing pages that you can create. If you have an online course, you could create one or an ebook, or if you want to have a product sale of a specific product, maybe you have a new e-commerce offer. I know someone here has a store and you may want to, you know, spotlight a specific product, right? You can come here, you could preview it, see what it would look like. You may want to show different products in this landing page. And then once you create it, you can send it out to all of your people on your list, right? So that's a preview. If you want to send a thank you, you can have a thank you page there as well. If you have a download that people want, you can use this. You want people to register for an event. You want to show a replay of an event. You want to offer a gift guide or something like that. People can choose this landing page and opt in for that. Or if you're doing a live stream, people can opt in for updates. If you're having a flash sale, you can create a landing page for that, or a podcast, or if you want to create a special coupon. You know, this is something that a lot of people would be into. You can create this coupon where people can get a code, you know, basically to get whatever you want off. I want to show you what it would look like if you decided to choose it and make changes to it. So you would just press choose, and it's so easy, and it will take you to this drag and drop area. So right here is a logo. If you want to put your logo on here, you would just kind of click the area. And then if you wanted to upload an image, you could click here on the right-hand side and click upload an image. And say if your logo was Shopify, you would click on that. And then the Shopify logo would come up. And it's kind of big, right? So you can, you know, kind of show it as a thumbnail if you want to. So if you see on the right-hand side, I can show the original size, right? Over here on the right, you can show it optimized over here on the right, or you can show it as a thumbnail, which is probably more of what you would want. And here in this area, if you want to change the text and say you don't want it to be 20% off. Say you want it to be 50% off. You can come here. Let me just X this out. You can come here and you can change the text. If you want to change the color of the text, this little editor up here is just like in Microsoft Word. So it's the exact same function. So if you wanted to change the color, you would just hover over this button here. And if you wanted to make it like a pink or something like that, you could drag it over here. Then you could drag the circle so that you can get a specific color. Like I know the number of the color for my brand, and I think I know what it is. It might be 3189, 3189 CA, which is like a green. And so if I wanted to, if you know your branding colors, you could put the code right there and then it would change, right? So, you know, if you wanted to highlight the 50% off, maybe you want to highlight that in a bright yellow or something like that. You could add the highlight to it. If you want to change the background, you can change the background color too. And you can come over here when you see where it says design and it says background color. You can click on that. And then, you know, if maybe you might want it to be black, or maybe you might want it, oh, this is just for the, I'm going to put none. Reset it. But for the background, not the background of this, I'm talking about the whole background. So I would have to come all the way down here under appearance, and then I should be able to change the background color. The thing is, I'm over here and I have this part highlighted and I don't want to highlight this whole part. But anyway, you can see if you have this part highlighted, it's just going to change this area. But if you want the whole thing, let's see, go in 1, go in 2, column 3. I want the whole thing, but it's only giving me the rows. So you could just play around in here under the appearance and you should be able to change a lot of this stuff. But you have to make sure where you have it highlighted, because if you have this area highlighted, it's only going to take this, and you want the whole thing. You don't want just one portion of it. So you could play around with it. You could change this particular area. You could change the coupon color. You could change the text here. So it's a matter of utilizing the code that's here at the top, which is the editor, right? Which is going to look like your Microsoft Word, or it's utilizing the menu over here on this side. But also what you can do is you can come over here and you can add elements. So this is like drag and drop. So say you wanted to put a different image on here, or you wanted to create and add an image in here, like you might want to add your picture. You could drag it and drop it here, and then you can go and upload an image. Like I have this picture of these little kids, and you can add it in here. So say if you had a picture of your product or something like that, you could drag it and you can drop it. And if you don't want it, then you could just press the little delete button and that would put it in the trash. And remember, we were talking about videos. What if you wanted to add a video in here? You could drag it and drop it in here. And then all you would have to do, remember Megan, we were talking about Vimeo. You would add your Vimeo link. See, it says a Vimeo URL or a YouTube. And you could, you know, grab a YouTube link and you can put it in here. And if I can show you guys something from YouTube really quickly. Let's see, I want to look at one of my own videos. I can grab a video And I could grab a shareable link. Copy it to a clipboard. Bring it over here. And there's the video. You guys see that?
Yep.
And then if you want to preview it, how it looks, you can see it here. And I think this background is a picture, but I can go back to the editor. And if I wanted to save it something, I would give it a name like, you know, coupon sale or something like that. Let me get rid of this video. And then I could click save. And then you would come over here and click publish to publish it. And the page is actually really live, right? And what happens is you can close it out, and this long link right here is the link that you would use if you wanted to promote it in other places. So you can just open up another URL and kind of see what it would look like. Okay, do you guys see that?
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to unpublish it, you can unpublish it. If you want to preview it, you can preview it. But you definitely can do a lot with this. Okay.
It's sort of cut Canva out.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, what you just demonstrated, Canva has similarly, I guess they're all competing, but this could cut their budget out and you just go with Aweber, and all of this is available on the free service. So it can even,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
all of it is available on a free service, but if you have one link, you only get one list with the free service, right? Mm-hmm. And if you don't even want the Powered by Aweber, you could delete all of that stuff. Wow. You could put your company information in here, your company name and all of that stuff in there. Mm-hmm. For your social media. All of the social media links that you see right here, you would just go on the right-hand side. Mm-hmm. And then you would click the edit button and Facebook will come up. But if, you know, my account is Toni Coleman Brown, you could put that there so that all of the social media links will now be linked to your social media. Wow. So all you have to do is come over here and, you know, you press done and then you click edit and you could change all of the social media links so that they will be linked up to your business. Okay. And then you could just hit save and exit, and you can constantly come in here and change this. And I'm pretty sure if we go to edit, I'm pretty sure it wants to give me a tour. I don't want the tour. You can do the tour. I mean, doing a tour is good because it will give you a lot of great information, right? And you know, like even over here, you know, like the landing page URL, you can even use your own domain with WordPress integration, right? So if you wanted to, you know, instead of having this ugly URL, you can customize it. So that's pretty good. And under these design settings, there's just so much you can do. Remember when I said you can, this is the template. Under template styles, you know, it has its overall design settings, but I'm pretty sure here in this background, you click that and you can remove that background, right? And if you wanted it to be like a picture from your business, you can come over here, and if you want it to be these nice kids, you can make the kids your background. Wow. You know? So there's so much that you can do. And if you want to remove it, you can remove it. And then if you wanted the color to be like maybe, you know, like a gray or something like that, you can change the color. And so you can
Toni, where did
that.
you find that? That's from scrolling all the way down, because you remember you were looking for it before. So it was really all the way at the bottom, or?
Well, you know what it was? I could tell you what the difference was between this time and the last time. Mm-hmm. I didn't have any of these boxes highlighted.
I got you.
So I had nothing highlighted. So it showed me the page design settings. But see,
Gotcha.
when you start highlighting a box, you see now it's
I
showing the
see.
row,
Yeah. there
right?
you go. Yeah.
So I guess you just, this is
back to page.
hyperlinked, so you could go back to page.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
then you can scroll down and it'll give you, you know, your header font options, your button options. So if you wanted to scroll up here and change the color of the hover, when people hover on the button, it turns this color. You might want it to turn black, I don't know, or blue. You may want the color to be a brighter red. You know, you could just take this circle and make it a brighter red, right? You may want it not to say get your coupon. You may want it to say claim your discount now, and put an exclamation point or something like that, you know? And then before you save it, well, I wouldn't save and exit. You could just preview it. And now you're previewing it, you're seeing kind of what it's going to look like. And you know, that doesn't look so half bad.
Nope.
Right? I kind of like it. So this is something like really cool that you can put together in a Weber. Now, what's really even more cool about this is the fact that whenever people enter their name and their email address, because you created all of this in Aweber, because it's tied to that particular list. Remember, in this account, I only have one. But because it's tied to that list, whenever somebody claims the discount, their name and email address is going to go directly to that list. So now you'll have a landing page that's almost like a lead capture page that you can promote all across your social media, all over the place, and the information is going to filter directly into your list. Now, what I love about that is the fact that it's just so easy. And every time you make changes, you want to click publish, right? So that means it'll update everything live, and you know, there's nothing else really you have to do. Now, in the past, what we would have to do is we would have to create these sign-up forms, right? So anytime you wanted, you know, maybe you might want to create a form where people have to complete an application, right? And you can come over here and create a sign-up form, and you can utilize all of these different templates, or you can have something that's basic. If you want it to be a little bit wider, you can make it wider. If you want to make it into like a big application, you can make it like really wide. And then you could add different custom fields over here on this side. So say you want the name, email address, and phone number. You can click over here and say create a new custom field. And you see it will add it here. And then you can give it a name, and you can say phone number, right? And that's what you want that new field to be. And you can decide whether it's going to be a text input or whether or not it's going to be a value or something like that. And if it's required, you check this button. And what that means is they won't be able to submit this information unless they put their phone number. And then you would just click save the field. Now, in the past, what you would do is you would save the form, then you would go to the next page, and then you would name the form. And, you know, like maybe this is a form where you want to put it on your website, and it's a form where people are interested in coaching or something. I'm just going to say interested in coaching, right? And it'll be a basic thank you page, a basic already subscribed page. You can make these custom if you want, but you would save it. And then what a lot of people would have to do is go to step 3. And go to step 3 is like, okay, I'll install the form myself. And what I normally would do is I would take all of this HTML, I would copy it, and then I would paste it on my website, and the form would appear on my website. But what's really cool is that you don't really have to do all of that stuff anymore now that you have landing pages, right? With landing pages, you can create your own landing page and just maybe put a button on your URL, and the button could, link up to your landing page, and people could complete the information right there on the landing page, and it'll automatically go to your email list. Now, a lot of websites have integrations with Aweber, MailChimp, and all of that stuff. And all you usually would have to do is click on a little button and it'll say integrate with Aweber. It'll sign into your account and it'll say, okay, well, what list do you want this information to go to? And if you have multiple lists, you just name the list that you want the information to go to and let the integration do what it does. But now that you have all of these different sign-up forms, I mean, you really don't have that much that you need to do anymore, especially with landing pages, right? So you don't really have to do all of that complicated integration. You don't have to create sign-up forms. I said now that we have sign-up forms, but I meant now that we have landing pages, you can really do a lot right there and just get super creative. Another page that I wanted to show you guys that was really cool is one where we looked at the coupon. If you're a coach, you can do coaching consultations about me. But the one I wanted to show you was this one, and it's called Link List, right? So you can create a link, right? And I'm just going to click preview. And with this, you can change the picture, you can change the social media handle, and you could put links to a bunch of different places on your website. So it could be your best-selling items, it could be your customer testimonials, it could be, visit your website or visit your store, or if you have a podcast, you can have a link to your podcast. And once you create this one page, now you can take the link and you can use it on Facebook, on Instagram, on all of your social media sites, so that people can just go to this one page and link up to everything that's really important to you. Instagram has this as well, but they call it Linktree is usually what people use for Instagram. But even in Aweber, you have this link list. And now you can put all of your links all into one. And now on your, imagine on your email list, your signature, you, instead of having just a listing for people to go to your website, you put this link where people will have a lot of different places they can check you out at. They can check you out on, you can make these all of your social media accounts. You could check me out on Instagram. You can check me out on my website. You could check me out on my podcast. So instead of having to memorize 1,000,001 different web addresses, you can put everything that's most important, all of your most important links, all into one, and get that URL and use that URL instead of using multiple websites. So for me, I have TonyComerBrown.com. I have my networkforwomeninbusiness.com. I may have a link to my course, so whatever that's important that's going on in your life, you can really have this one link list and utilize the link list URL instead of your website URL. Do you guys see the benefit of something like that? Yeah. So this is pretty cool too that they have available. And you can create your About Me page. You can create a simple sign up page, and you can use something like this for a simple sign up page. You can use something like this for your newsletter. And you can change the background picture, and you can just give people the most important information that they're going to receive by signing up for your newsletter. And you can utilize this link, and you can just start posting that on social media and just saying, stay up to date with everything that's going on with me, sign up for my newsletter. And you can put sign up for my newsletter as a part of your rotation of things that you send out on social media every week, because you know that people only see things in a news feed for a short period of time. So signing up for your newsletter should be something that's on your monthly rotation all the time, you know, several days out of the month. All right, so yeah, questions?
Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry to chime in. Yeah. It's a lot to not a lot to process, but I'm going through this. So, what about this here with Aweber? This is about creating URLs versus your own personal URL. So, what about your own your personal website URL? How can you implement it, add to include in that platform, or they'll create it for you? Because obviously you won't.
You can create custom domains, right? And you know, I saw that that's one of the things that they allow you to do, is to create custom domains. But what this is about, okay, it's not about you building different websites for your business. It's about really building a page where you can capture people's information, so that you can have them on your list, so that you can begin to market and promote to them. Now what I'm going to show you though is really how you start building those relationships by putting together email campaigns. So, you know, like we can say all day, oh, you need to build a list, you need to build a list, you need to get people on your list. But it's like, okay, well, how am I going to get people on my list? I have my website, right, that allow people to come and see and check out what I'm all about. But I also need these landing pages, or sometimes people call them opt-in pages, so people can opt in and give me their email address for different things. Like I may be having a sale, I may want people to sign up to my newsletter, or I may be hosting a course, a webinar, or something like that, or I may be going live and I want people to know when I go live. So I'm going to create a landing page so that people know, you know, if you want to know when I go live, sign up, enter your name and email address, or I'm going to be going live on this particular day, enter your name and email address so that I can let you know when I go live in the future. So it's not about detracting from your personal website. It's about creating individual pages so that you can begin to capture more names and email addresses, so you can build your list, so that you can begin to send them emails and things like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, so it's not to take away from your website.
Right.
It's
So can you add your website URLs to this? Of course. I mean.
Well, it looks like you could do it with WordPress and with other certain custom domains. Like sometimes people will have multiple domain names, right? So sometimes if you create a business, you may have, you know, the name of your business.org, or the name of your business.com, or the name of your business.net. And you may not even be utilizing those URLs. You may have the one URL for your main business, but you may have those other domain names just sitting there, right? You could probably, from what I just saw, you can utilize a custom domain so that you don't have that long, ugly URL that they create. But you can also use a URL shortener like Bitly. Have you guys heard of Bitly before?
No, but that sounds interesting.
No, Bitly is a URL shortener. If I could go there really quick, let's see, bit.ly.com. Can you guys see this?
I've heard of them.
You've heard of them?
Yeah, because people send stuff like you could sign up and register, and like, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
that's what it is. I've seen things with the BIT, but I didn't know that's what you meant. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so basically if you have a long URL and you want to customize it, you can shorten it, right? Okay. So you would come over here to the create button and you would just copy, you know, the long URL link here, and then Bitly will shorten it for you. So you can have something that's, you know, a little bit more easy to remember. And also if you want to get tracking information, now this is completely free. You don't have to pay for this.
So what is the URL to get there? Is it bit.ly.com or not?
Yeah, it's bit.ly.com.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you guys see it? Did it come up when I did it? BIT. Yeah, it's bit.ly, bit.ly.com.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay,
Yeah, and it's good because if you ever want to like know like how many clicks you got on a link, or where is the traffic coming from? Is it coming from the US? What day did you get the most links? I mean, the most clicks? Is it coming from Facebook, or is it coming from directly from email? Is it coming from the United States, Ireland, England? You know, it gives you Canada. It gives you all of that information, all of that data. So if you want to have that, you can definitely utilize Bitly, because Aweber definitely gives you that long URL, and so you want to make sure you shorten it. Okay. So like I said, the landing pages is just something that you want to have, and it's good that they have this, because in the past you would have to really build opt-in pages, and they would call them opt-in pages, lead capture pages, landing pages. All of those different things are just supplemental pages for you to be able to get someone's name and email and address, in exchange for some information, either a coupon, or you letting them know you're going live, or you have a sale or something like that. You just want to be able to get that name and email address so you can come back and begin to email them, right?
Gotcha.
So now you want to come over here to messages. And remember when I talked about how you can create a broadcast, and a broadcast message is really like, you know what? We just had an election and I'm really excited and I want to talk about it and I need to tell my people something about it. You come over here, you click on broadcast, and usually what I do is I do a drag and drop, right? And then you can come over here and you can create your email. You can put in a subject line, you know, and something like, you could say like this just in. And you want, you know, maybe it's something celebratory, and you want to put, you know, champagne glasses toasting. And you want to come over here, if you have the person's first name, you could leave this little code here, because it's going to say, hi, Tony, right? Because you've collected their first name and their email address. That I always like to collect the name and the email address so I can personalize the email, right? And you can say, did you watch the inauguration, blah, blah, blah. And this was my favorite part. And, you know, if you have a picture of maybe Michelle Obama in her outfit and you want to show Michelle Obama in her outfit, you could come over here. We're going to pretend like this is Michelle Obama, even though it's not. And you can, you know, add a picture. Or if, you know, like, if you have a GIF, you could put the link to the GIF and it'll have the moving person in here. If you want, you know, this, instead of it being an image, if you want it to be a video, you can come over here and drag and drop and put in the link to the video over here, right? I think we did this before. We came over to YouTube and we grabbed a link and we posted it here, and then the video will pop up. And then you can come down here, and if you want to have like your social media, you can put in your social media links, you know, like drag and drop that stuff down here. I think these are social media links. Yep. And then you can come over here and you can decide whether or not you want it to be over here to the left. So you see the alignment over here on this side. You can decide if you want it to be small, or if you want it to be medium size, or if you want it to be big, right? Then you could also scroll down here for alignment. If you want it to be centered, you could do that. If you want to come in here and change it so that it could go to your social media, all you have to do is click on the edit buttons and put your name there, the name of your social media account, and click done. And then, you know, you can save it. It's going to automatically save. You'll see this little, like it looks like a floppy disk down here. It automatically saves after every 2 minutes. So, but I like to save every time. And then you could do a preview and test, and you can see what it's going to look like, right? And then you can go back, and then you can press save and exit. And then you can schedule it, right? So you click on schedule. Because this only has one list, you don't, you know, if you had multiple lists, you would be able to edit it here and say what lists you wanted to include. You know, it's all the active subscribers in this particular list. And then you, if you wanted to go immediately, you would click that, and you click apply, and then you would click send now. And we're not going to do that because I don't want it to go to the people on that list. Yeah, it's live. So that's if you want to send something right now, right? And if you want to delete it, you could delete it. If you want to send yourself a test, you can send yourself a test. Now, if you wanted to create a campaign, right, like a welcome campaign, it's a bunch of things that you can do. Like, you know, there's split tests, right? A split test is where I'm going to send this group of people this headline and this group of people this headline, and I'm going to see which one performs the best. So you could do stuff like that. Or you can, you know, like come over here and create like a campaign, and a campaign would be almost like your welcome series, right? And you could come over here and you can see that they already have a welcome template, a welcome campaign template already set up. And basically with this welcome campaign template, they really tell you exactly what's going to happen as soon as somebody subscribes. So you see where it says here, start campaign, and it says on subscribe. So as soon as somebody enters their name and email address, this campaign is going to get started. And what's going to happen is it's the welcome campaign. So immediately they're going to get tagged that they're a part of the welcome campaign. And then there is a message that is sent. And the message is, thanks for signing up. And then at the end of it, it'll remove the tag and it'll say the campaign is over. But you can come over here and click on this button right here and see where it says, thanks for signing up, blah, 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 blah. You can click this highlighted section and you can change what the message says. So you can come over here and it's gonna say, you know, hi, Tony. So this little thing right here, first name underscore fix, it's called a snippet. And what this snippet is a little code that says, pull the first name from the list. So if you have Bob, Susan, Jane, Mary, Joseph, Stephen, Franklin, all of those different people, when they get their email, it's going to say, hi, Franklin, or hi, Susan, or hi, John, or hi, Jane. So that's the cool part of using an email software provider, is that it'll personalize the email to every individual that's on the list. So it'll have their name. And, you know, and it's so funny because the people will think that you took the time to send an email just to them, when little do they know that you're sending it to everybody. So that's the beauty of having an email software provider, is that you can create these nice personalized campaigns and send them to your people. Now, remember I said, you know, the welcome will be, you know, thank you for signing up to the newsletter. So it has this dummy copy here, right? And what you can do is you can keep it or you can change it. But what I would do is change it. Over here on the left-hand side, you can't see this, but if you click the button, because this menu is hidden, you can get all of the elements here that you have, right? If you want a carousel and show different pictures that will, you know, show up. So that would be great if you had a roundup email. and you wanted to just show, you know, a bunch of pictures of what you were doing all week long, a carousel would be nice. Even if you had a product, you can put a link to a cart so that people can buy now. You can put a button and you can link that button to your PayPal account if you had a product in here. So you can even drop a picture or image of a product, and then you can drag and drop a button, and then you can link it to PayPal, and you can, you know, start making money right from your emails. But remember when I said in a welcome campaign, the first email might be just telling a person a little bit about you, a little bit about how you got started, thanking them, letting them know how many times you send out emails, and blah, blah, blah. And that would be your first email. So you can save this, right? And then you can hit save and exit. But if you wanted, you know, to have different messages in here, you can add more than one message. Let me see, I think somebody has a question.
No, it's just a private message. I was just
Okay.
confirming, yeah.
Okay, okay, all right, creating landing pages and the capture pages.
But that was February 16th, and then the other ones are the 3.
Okay, so we're kind of going, we're ahead of ourselves, but I didn't do the Canva stuff, so I'll probably do the Canva stuff on that date. All right. So you can create multiple messages. You can add multiple messages in here if you want to. And, you know, and that would be, you know, like a whole complete campaign. But this is a draft, and you could just leave it as a draft, or you can activate the campaign. I'm not going to activate it, because if I did, then people would actually start getting the emails, right? And I don't want to do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's like with your campaigns, and that's with your broadcast, but you know, you can add multiple messages in here. It doesn't have to just be one message, you know, it could be multiple messages in here, and it will send them out, and you can, you know, schedule them to go out, like, you know, this will go out on immediately, and then the next one will go out a couple of days later and stuff like that, right?
Sounds good.
Let's see. Okay. So now when you click on over here, I'm going to show you how to add the multiple messages, okay? Let me just X this out. So you see, I showed you before how this is triggered when a person subscribes. And the first message that they get is the thank you for signing up. But if you want to add another message, you will come over here, but first you will say drag and drop the wait, right? Because you want them to wait. It could be wait 1 day, or if you want them to wait 5 days before the next email comes out, you can come over here on the right-hand side, and you could change it from 1 day to 5 days. And then 5 days later, the next action is going to happen. And then that would be send another email, right? And so now that we have send another message, you can either choose the message that you want to send, or you could create the new message. And then you would go to your drag and drop builder, and you would create the new message, right? And so maybe this message would be the one where people would sign up for your social media, you know, or yeah, I wouldn't say sign up, I would say follow us on social media, right? And then you can come over here, and this is the one where I would definitely use the social button, and I would, you know, I would probably make it like really big, so you could come over here and make it large, and I would put it, you know, align it in the center. And then I would say over here, you know, hey, such and such, you know, have you followed us yet on social media? You can check us out at all of our social media sites. And then, you know, you can change all of these, like I said before, you click edit, whatever, right? Then you could click save and exit. So now you can see in your follow-up, your welcome campaign, and you can change the name of it, right? Instead of saying template welcome campaign, you can just say welcome series, right? And then now you'll see you got your first one. You're welcome. Thank you for signing up. 5 days later, follow us on social media. Then you can come over here and add your timer, right? Wait maybe 3 days or 4 days, and then send your next message, right? And then you can go over here and you can make it drag and drop, right? And you would change this one to, what did we say? We said, follow us on social media, join our private Facebook group. Okay. And then, you know, you can talk about all of the benefits of being a part of the Facebook group. And then if you want to just link them directly to the Facebook group, you can come over here and add a button. And you could come over here to the right and you could put the button in the center. And then you can come over here and click on the button. And you come over here to the right. Instead of it saying click here, you could say, you know, join us on Facebook, right? And then you could put a link to the Facebook group, right? And so you could talk to them about all the benefits of being a part of the Facebook group and the email and all of that stuff. And then you want to save it, and then you want to save and exit. And then now in your welcome series, you have the thank you for signing up, follow us on social media, join our Facebook group, and you know, then you could do another one. Did I ever tell you about the time and whatever? Or did I ever tell you the meaning behind a logo? Or, you know, all of those types of different things. You guys get the gist of it, right? You could do all of those different types of emails in your welcome series. And what's cool about the welcome series, I'm going to hit save and exit. I want you guys to know over here, you can come over here, and this is how you can edit the individual messages. And then you can come over here and click on the welcome series. And this is how you add more emails to the welcome series. So on the right-hand side, you would be able to edit the existing messages. Over here on the left-hand side, when you click on the hyperlink of the title, it'll give you the ability to add more messages and extend it out a little bit longer. But you can see the benefit of having like a automated series that's, you know, like once you create the emails, they're evergreen, you set it, you forget it. And then as people are constantly signing up, everybody, you know, and, you know, potentially you could have people signing up to your list every day. And it doesn't matter if Tony signs up on today and Joseph signs up on Friday. Joseph is not going to get the email that was 4 days later. Joseph is going to get the thank you. Joseph is going to get the follow us on social media 4 days later or 5 days later. And Joseph is going to get the join our Facebook group 4 days later. So the cool part about a campaign like a welcome series where you have these autoresponder emails that are evergreen, that, you know, at any point in time, they're not date specific, they're not deadline driven, but at any point in time, somebody enters into the series, that's day one for them, right? So it's not like, oh, it's 5 days later, they're gonna get the last email. No, whenever they join, it's day one for them. It's very individualized. So you guys can see the beauty of having something like this, so that anytime somebody signs up, they're going through the welcome series and you're starting to build the know, like, and trust factor. You know, not so everybody is not coming in at the same time. And if somebody comes in 4 or 5 days later, they're not going to get the 5th email. They're going to get the 1st email. This email series triggers on subscribe. So as soon as somebody subscribes, that's when this email campaign is going to fire off. And so you set it and you forget it. And that's a beautiful thing. It really, really is. So you have broadcast messages, like I said before, you would want to send those like, hey, I got something I want to tell my list right now, right now, right now. And then you have your campaigns, which are, you know, emails that you would want to send. They're evergreen, and that means they're not tied to any specific date. They're, you know, telling about your history, giving a little background. You're kind of like driving, you're kind of like taking people on a journey, you know. You're saying, okay, thank you, you know, and hey, here's why most people sign up to my list. And did you know this about me? Did you know that we got started in such and such and such and such? Hey, did I tell you that we have this great community? You know, so you're just like having that conversation, and the conversation starts as soon as they enter their name and email address. So how is that? Good stuff?
Awesome. So
Good
we should have lots of questions. I sure.
People are quiet, so I know that their mind must be going.
Yeah.
It's like, their brain is probably like, oh.
So
But Winnie recorded it, so you guys can get the replay.
Yes, I can. And they need to know that, okay, so this was how to create your first lead magnet, and Tony showed you that, right? How to do the first one, she did that, right? I'm going down the inventory. Then she also showed you how to create your Aweber landing and lead capturing pages, correct?
Yes, yes.
And then she also showed you crafting your welcome series.
Yep.
And your emailing marketing campaign.
Yep.
So with those three, there should be questions, because these were individual pockets. Did anybody write down any questions or things within each of these categories that you can ask her?
Hi, Wendy.
Yes.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Yeah, well, you know, I'm
Hi.
always a note taker, so I did take something down, but I'm definitely going to need this webinar replay because my head is spinning.
Yeah, I'll send it
Thank
to
you.
each of you. Each
Thank
of you will get
only do so much in the 2 hours, but this was great. I just said in the chat that this is like a one-stop shop.
It is.
Aweber is the one shop. Yes, yes.
But you know, it's really cool because, you know, you would be surprised, like, you know, people always talk about, you know, oh, I need a website. Oh, I need, you know, I need to have, you know, all of these things they think that they need to have. And you'll be surprised what you really don't need. And you'll be surprised how one tool, and these tools are just getting better.
Yes.
You know, when I first started with Aweber, it was many, many moons ago. And I have to tell you that it was not like this. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and definitely they didn't allow you to have unlimited emails for $20. You know, it definitely was not like that.
Yeah.
But when all of these other, you know, things come, you know, now you have Active Campaign, MailerLite, MailChimp. You have all of these, you know, MadMimi, all of these different, you know, email software providers, Constant Contact. But what's really cool is the fact that a lot of them provide the exact same thing. MailChimp now has websites within MailChimp.
I have MailChimp, but I didn't see that.
But no, you have to pay for that because every MailChimp, you know, you barely get anything for free. So,
well, actually, I think you can get it for free with one list, though. One list.
Yeah, just one
but
list.
But if you have multiple lists, then you have to pay, right? But all of these, you know, all of these email software providers now are providing all of these different tools. And I tell you, you know, it makes life a lot less complicated.
Well, that's
it really
the way it's
does.
supposed
like
to be.
It looks right. It may on the surface, it may look like, oh my God, that's just so complicated. But all you really need is one good email marketing campaign. Mm-hmm. One good, you know, way to capture names and email addresses. And then the rest of it is just you really incorporating your business and what you do in your communications. That's it. You know, so that's why even in the very beginning, when I first came to malls, I said, you know, what you really need, and you guys will see that, you know, like I keep a notebook. I go to the store and I get these notebooks and I fill them up. I fill them up with stuff, you know, and because I understand that the best part of you is in your head. And the best thing that you can do is take it out of your head and write it down. And once you have once you have the architecture of what you want to happen, and you have it written down, it's easier for you to communicate what you want. And it's easier for you to implement what you want utilizing these tools. But a lot of people will have you believing that, oh, you need this tool, this tool, this tool, this tool, this tool, that tool, this tool, that tool. And then all it does is overcomplicates your life.
Sure it does.
Yeah. Go
Tony,
ahead.
yeah. I know you talk about it's integrating with your website, WordPress. Do you know if it also does it with Wix?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but it definitely, I saw it said WordPress, right? But, you know, like a lot of times you just figure out what you want, you know, and I'll tell you, I remember when I got my first, you know, marketing job, and I didn't have a marketing background, right? My background was finance. But I had a creative mind. And, you know, when I sat in meetings, you know, I was the person at one point in time that would do all of the marketing analysis. So I basically said, okay, well, when we did this campaign, it made this amount of money and this was the budget. This was what we thought we were going to make. And this is what we made. So that was my job. But when I would sit in the meetings, I would contribute more on the marketing side. Right. And so I realized that, you know what, I could do marketing. So I went for a marketing job and I got it. And one of the first things I did was I took a big spreadsheet. And I took each and every month and I broke down what was happening in that month. So if it was Valentine's Day or if it was Black History Month, I would write down Valentine's Day, Black History Month, and I would create incentives and I would create marketing programs that was around what was going on, right? So if it was Valentine's Day, if it was Black History Month, if it was Women's History Month, if it was Mother's Day, it's June, if it was Juneteenth or Father's Day, if it was August and, you know, it's back to school, August, September, if it's October, it's Halloween, if it's November, it's Thanksgiving, if it's December, it's Christmas, right? So I had all of that stuff kind of laid out. And I just said, okay, well, what can I do? What can I do with this business around what's already happening? And I would create these incentives. Okay, well, you know, maybe we could do a buy one, get one free in this month. Or maybe we could do, you know, like, well, I have this item and it only costs $1. Maybe I could say, you know, anybody that purchased this, we're going to give this away. You know, and I would lay it all down on paper, and then I would just give it to people, and I would create a creative brief, and I said, make it happen, right? Make it happen for me, right? And then when they came back, I would say, okay, well, I don't want it like this, I would want it like this. But doing that has helped me over time with everything. Because, you know, you realize if you could do it for somebody else, then you could do it for yourself. But if you lay down everything on paper and then you say, well, what tool do I need to implement this?
Yeah.
Right? And once you figure out, okay, well, I could post it on social media, I could do this, I could do that. Then you say, okay, well, these are the platforms that I'm going to promote it on. And okay, well, how am I going to promote it? What do I want it to look like? Well, you know what? I could go into that little Aweber tool and I could create a little landing page. you know, and on that little landing page, I could put the offer on there. And you know what? It's going to give me a link. And I'll take that link and I'll post it on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and you know what? And I'm a part of all of these groups, and I'll put it in all of these groups. You know what I mean? So that's how it happens. So it happens offline before you could put it online. And Aweber and MailChimp and all of these things are tools that you can use to bring what you have going on up here to life. And so, you know, it really just takes some thought. So don't look at the tool and figure out, you know what, don't put the tool over your business. Put the business over the tool and utilize the tool to accelerate your business. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense.
Yes, you are.
Tony, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
What did you say about books? Stuff in books?
Exactly.
I am still doing it. Years, and I got tons of books. You can see, this is my library. This is my real office over here. It's real.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I think, just to be succinct, it's common sense.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving us the basics,
right?
Which we need. Those are the tools we need.
Right.
But from that, like you draw from that. It's just like creating something.
Yeah.
You know, you read this piece and you take the nugget out of that one, and you take the nugget out of that one, and then you make it your own. But I think a lot of it is common sense because you can over-educate and be stupid. Did I say that right? But you understand what I'm saying? It's just so much academics and so much stats. It's overwhelming. If you just get the basic, I mean, she's just giving you a wealth of information. That's why I'm sitting in this class. But I'm going to get back to my books that I'm going to have my signature speech in here. You know the things you have to do.
Yes. Right.
And this, I mean, it's all common sense. Just take that wealth of information that you've given us, and it's instinct.
Right.
Now, how can I expand that and make that virus? How can I explain my story, not Tony's story, but the fundamentals of writing the story, the structure, the management?
Right.
It's the same thing all the way through. I'm just loving you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I believe that it goes back down to the basics. Like, you know, they say that the pages to your book of life are blank and you have to write the story. And that's, you know, that's really what it's all about. And then what you noticed with Aweber, and it's the same with MailChimp, it's the same with all of the platforms. You start off with a blank canvas. And then now, listen, if you had to do this years ago, trust me, it was hard.
Oh, yes.
That's really hard.
Oh, yeah.
Because you had to know just a tad bit of code back in the day.
Yeah.
Because everything was in this plain text HTML. And then, you know, so you were like, well, what is this gonna look like? You didn't know what it was gonna look like. Right. Now you have drag and drop.
Yeah.
Drag it over here. You just go over here, click a button, it'll change the color.
That's it. That's it.
Much more easier now than it was before. And then it's like, oops, I made a mistake. And guess what? You could delete.
That's true. That's true.
That's the cool part about it.
They said the same thing like Vera and things. See all my books, I have tons of these, and I've got a group. Yeah. I mean, I have this one. I mean, it's all books, black, blue, everything. So
that's right.
Secret of the successful people. We're constantly writing our brain out and creating the target. All right. Yeah. So only one question that I had, because I also want to share where are we seeing Tony's next. She's going to be on Thursday. Okay.
Yes.
Different platform. A number of you have already registered. I'll be shooting out another email tomorrow with that link. But back in when Tony was on Aweber, I just needed to share something. I didn't want to interrupt her. You saw the area where she was talking about where it says dear and it's like first name. I don't make the same mistake that I did. I erased that and literally put the person's name in there.
No.
But it means don't touch it. Do not put that part up there. The system will put their name in. So I just had to say that because I ignorantly, you know, when it says first name, I thought it was asking me to put it in there. So please, please, please leave that alone and the system will fill it in. So I had to share that.
And the cool part is too, you could copy that little snippet
Yes.
anywhere in the email. So if you
Yes.
get to a certain point where you, in your email, you'll say, well, Tony, what do you think about all of this stuff that I said? So you can really have their name personalized all
Yes.
throughout the email.
Right,
So it's
exactly.
pretty cool. It's
As
pretty
long
cool.
as it's within the bracket. Just remember, it has to be in the bracket.
Yeah, you could just copy and paste it. And then in the little header that has like the formatting and all of that
Yes.
stuff that looks like Word, Microsoft Word, it also has a little button drop down that says personalize.
Right.
You click that drop down button and just copy and paste that information.
Correct. Yes, they asked, can you give our newsletter a name? Absolutely. I think that's what she was.
I think that's a great thing to do.
Yes.
Oh,
right.
good, because I have it already.
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Absolutely.
great. I have it already right here. I actually wrote it down.
Good. As long as it's written down.
Oh, yeah, it's written down. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to use this time to share where we're going to see, Tony is going to be every Thursday on SBDC platform. Well, I shouldn't say she is contracted by SBDC York, but we have all the links already and I'm sending it to each person. Now we must let you know, we have had a challenge with our website for the last 7 days and we managed to get it back up, but it's going to be on the .org. And they're finished polishing it up, but you can actually get on to mallsnyc.org. And we were able to temporarily recreate all of that there. So it's still being worked on, some little areas, but you can register, you can renew, you can see all of the calendar of activities that is going to be out there. All right. So we have a new designer who is working on it, but we just had to get it up really quick. In a format that you can follow, but depend on the emails. The emails are coming out. Each of you are here because of the emails. All right. So whether the website is up or down, it doesn't matter. You all are getting the emails and you're going directly into Zoom. So on the 4th, which is this one, a number of you have already registered, but if you have already registered, I always send you a copy of your link so you don't have to register twice, right? But still keep those emails because if you didn't see the link coming back, meant that you didn't register. And it's okay if you register twice, just to be sure, we'll take it. So on Thursday, she's going to be speaking about getting started with e-commerce on Shopify, and that's part 1, all righty? And then on the February, is that what I did? Yes. And then on the 11th, she is going to be talking about getting started with e-commerce on Shopify part 2. On February 18th, she is going to be discussing getting started with e-commerce on Etsy part 1, setting up your Etsy store, your Etsy store. I don't know if the T is silent. And then on February 25th, how to get your website primed and ready for sales. On March 4th, I think that's her last one on that platform, is social media done right so you can save time and money. Oh no, she has one last one. On March 11th, email marketing made easy. Okay. So I know, Tony, we had you here again on February 16th. So I don't know if you want to share.
Well, on February 16th, what we could do is we could really do a deep dive if people want to work on creating their own lead magnet.
Yes.
And I can show you how you can use Canva to do something like that.
Okay.
And that's if you want to create something that's other than a newsletter, like a guide or a tip sheet.
Oh, that would be awesome. All right. So you will send me that little heading so I could replace that, right?
Okay.
On the 16th, I had creating your Aweber landing and leading capture pages. And on the 2nd, which was the last one with us, was crafting your welcome series email marketing campaign. So you have already done.
I'll change those.
Change them and oh, they're gonna love you. Aren't you all Tony, are you loving?
Absolutely.
Yes, yes, yes. We're loving her. We're loving her. Yes, we're getting through this. I'm really excited about the team on Standard of Growth. So after you listen to Tony on the fort, next Monday, this is where it gets serious, and we do have some visitors on. And if you would like to join Malls, please do, because some great stuff is actually coming up. Now, we are going to have understand your business legal structure. We have an attorney, a business attorney, and a CPA combined. They are going to be presenting, because you're going to want to know, is your business legally set up? What's the consequence of continue to run your business under solopreneur? What's the difference between a partnership and limited partnership? What's the difference between an S Corp, a C Corp, and the most popular one that everybody seems to be working with now is called LLC, okay? And so you have the LLP, you have LLC, all of that. And so you really need to know, some of you have an existing business, and because of the nature of your business, you probably want to have a parent business above the business that you have. So make sure you are here on Monday, February 8th. You're getting the emails for that. And of course, right now, you're able to go on. I think everything is pretty much working. So there's some things that has to be fine-tuned, but you can go on to Malls NYC.
Stop with the computer. So sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so the mallsnyc.org, okay? And you could go on the calendar and you should be able to see all of the upcoming, but remember, don't write it in stone, because Tony's getting ready to give us a new title on that one. But we just wanted to let you guys know that, and just look out for your emails, because you will never get lost. We will let you know in advance what's coming up. All you have to do is click register. It takes you right into Zoom. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Because we have come to our end, and we want to thank let me try to put back my gallery view. Everybody, we want to
thank you, Tony.
Yes, we want to thank Valerie, Barrett, Vera, Althea, Susan, Cynthia, Constant, Desmond, Wayne, Deborah Rushmurray, Desmond, that's Desmond, Sylvia, Sonia, Julia, Christina, and Siobhan. All right, we want to thank each and every one of you for making this evening a success. It tells me that you have an enduring spirit, and you will make it to the top of Kilimanjaro. That's where they send CEOs to see if they can really handle a major corporation. If they can hang in there to the top of the mountain they're in, you all hung in here till the end.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Thank you, Tony.
All righty.
For this 6-year-old here, she has remaining homework and she's doing remote schooling.
I don't know if Sylvia is talking to us or talking.
No, she's saying that, you know, thank you for being patient. She has a 6-year-old that's doing remote learning. So
Yes,
they have homework that they have to finish. It's tough. So
yeah,
we get
so
it.
I will be sending this out. No, it is on Zoom, and sometimes Zoom is a challenge. I will try to figure out when you get it, download it, because you can't, it's not going to allow you to stay on the site forever. So if your computer can download it, please download it when it's sent to you, and then you could always refresh. The last thing I want to say, I believe Tony, you said earlier that there is a video tour that AWeber is able to take them through tours in there to refresh as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, all of these platforms come with a whole library of training. And then if you ever get stuck with anything, always go to the good old school of YouTube.
That's true. YouTube will teach you everything on it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it has, and just type exactly what your problem is and it will pop up.
It does, right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, we want to say bye-bye. So long.
All right,
Okay.
Thank you, Winnie.
soon. Thank you, sweetheart, and implement, because remember, we're trying to get you funded, and there's a lot of information that package they're going to need in the vetting. All right, we'll talk about that another day, but 95% guaranteeing if you're following the programs that we are giving you. All righty, so we'll talk to each of you separately because we're serious about getting funding. There's a lot of money out here for 2021. It's going to be closed after December 31st, 2021. Okay, so they said money is free right now. It's just it's cheap. They're using the word money is cheap right now, but you know, get it, grab it, store it. Okay. All right, guys.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye now. Bye bye.